What is up? What is up? What is up? So I was hey Scott, how's it going? And there's Todd. Two great gentlemen of distinction that are joining us today. So I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, we I have not gone live in months and months and months and was sitting here just kind of had one of those oh shit moments. We were on a call and my dog is having a dream. Oh, come here. Anyway, we were on a call with I was on with Justin and our development team and I started getting inundated like just bing, 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 bing. Emails, text messages, phone calls were coming in because we had not nationwide. Apparently, Google Cloud had a worldwide outage of some particular thing that affected the people that use handle our servers, and so nobody could log in or out to Quote IQ. Obviously we're freaking out. We've got our entire support team, and now it's pretty extensive because I was not good at handling support myself. But we got everybody on board. We knew what we were going to be telling people, proactively getting out there in our Facebook users group. We were about to send a mass in-app message to everybody so it would pop up, but they got it resolved, and it was only out for 20 minutes, but it scared the hell out of me. That's a terrifying thing because when you've got as many users as we have, and by no means do we have as many as some of our big boy competitors, but it still impacts their business. And if you're out on a job, if you're doing an inspection, if you're measuring something on Map Measure Pro, or you're doing a quote, or you're sending an invoice and it just kaplowy, that sucks. And so thank God they were able to get it back up and running in, 20 minutes. But that was a long 20 minutes. So hopefully none of you guys were affected by that. But yeah, so who do we got in here? We got Scott, we've got Todd, Rusty, what's up? Sergio, today taking off, just got back from vacation. Scott, it seems like every time I've talked to you, you've been on vacation. Last time it was like 3 weeks in Mexico, I think. But man, that's good. I'm glad you're having some time off. Hopefully the wash business is going well. Todd, how are you, pal? Um, but so yeah, I figured I was just going to hop on for a little bit, answer any questions that anybody has. If you've got anything that you'd like to run by me, any suggestions you have for Quote IQ, we're always looking for cool shit to implement, to build, to make it better for you guys and for us. One of the cool things that we just launched yesterday is budgetbuiltsites.com. And that is our AI website builder, $49.99 a month. And you get in there, you give AI some prompts, and it will build you a really good looking, fully functional, SEO optimized website, specifically kind of aimed towards contractors. You know, we wanted to do something kind of like we do all kinds of things, with the mindset and the mentality of, we understand that people have budgets, right? We understand that you can't go out and drop a fortune on a website every single month if you're just starting out. But the thing is, you need a website when you're first starting out. So it was like one of those things. We need a website. And then with Quote IQ, when you connect Stripe, to take payments, they require you to have a website. So for the past, 2.5 years, people were coming to us like, I don't have a website. They're not letting me. So, there was little workarounds that you could do. But ultimately, Stripe needed to see that you were a legitimate business. Legitimate businesses have websites. And what we wanted to do, our sole function and purpose in building budget built sites, was to allow people to have really good contractor websites at a fraction of the cost of what traditional website builders, like, this is 5 times cheaper than, like some of the folks out there that are building websites. So something pretty cool. If you're interested, you can go check it out, budgetbuiltsites.com. If you're a Quote IQ user, you can go into the features page on our brand new designed website. If you guys have not seen our new website, myquoteiq.com, it is absolutely gorgeous, right? Like, and I got to be honest, like, our first website, it was okay, right? It served its purpose just getting started. But just like everything else, it's an evolution. Like my business, like your business, you just keep getting better. You keep improving every single day, working hard so you can make the changes that have an impact. And, visually, it looks a hell of a lot better than it did. But man, like, my son who works for me, he's 23 years old, great guy, phenomenal marketing guy. He's amazing with just the visual stuff, and you see it, you just don't know who's doing it. But he told me, he's like, yeah, now I'm not embarrassed to tell people that I work for Quote IQ because now the website looks so tight. So check it out and let me know what you think on that. So I've just kind of gone off on a tangent, but life is good, good. I live by QIQ, best CRM, going with the best support and backup. Thank you, brother. And I appreciate that. And like Todd, you've been with us from the very beginning, like from God, the very beginning, and you have seen the evolution of how it's progressed, and you've put up with some of the stuff, right? And that's we appreciate you and the guys like you that have been with us and helped us make it what it is today. And I know you are crushing up there. EDDM, how often should I send the cards out? It's not the best ROI. Thanks. Well, John, I love Every Door Direct Mail, right? We use Postcard Mania. They do a phenomenal job. And when we do it, I haven't started it up this year just because our lead flow is pretty good and I just haven't turned them on yet. But that's something that I need to do. We were sending them out every 3 weeks, and we would send out 5,000 at a time to the same demographic, that same geographical location that was really, really targeted for the people that we want. And so yeah, I was doing it like that. So with any kind of marketing, it's like, I can't remember what the rule is. It's the rule of 5 or the rule of 8, right? It takes so many times to like kind of pound through that barrier that customers put up or potential customers put up to where, they'll finally, kind of get your message and be like, oh yeah, I do need to do that. So that's what I like. If you have a romantic partner that doesn't have your vision, how can you bring them? See, Joshua, that scared me when I started reading that, because what I've seen a lot of guys do is like when you're doing a live like this and you're just reading, you see, you just start reading and you don't know what it's going to say. And someone can put some crazy shit in there and then you read it and then you look like a complete jerk because they got you. So if you've got a romantic partner that doesn't have your vision, how can you bring them around to understanding? Now, this is difficult. I've been lucky. My wife has always been unbelievably supportive of everything that I've done, the decisions that I've made, whether they were good ones, whether they were bad ones. And she'll give me feedback, right? She's like, this kind of doesn't sound like it's something we should, really be investing in or spending a lot of time on. But she's always supportive, right? Alex Hormozy talks about this a lot, and he and his wife, obviously, if you don't know who he is, he's a really smart guy. He owns acquisition.com. He's got a portfolio of companies that are tremendous, and he's a multi-millionaire. But he says, like, if your partner doesn't have the same vision, that can be a problem, right? And I can see where that would be a problem if you're just in a romantic involvement and it's not like your wife. She needs to get on board or get the fuck out. I mean, or you need to determine if your vision is more important than the relationship. So I by no means am anybody that can give relationship advice. I'm a moron when it comes to that shit. So that's my 2 cents. And I'm kind of, you got to have support. I talk about it all the time. People that determine that they want to start something, they want to go out on their own, they're going to do their own thing. A lot of people that's going to impact relationships because they're like, oh, you're a moron. You should just go punch that clock. You should just do what everybody else did and follow the path and drink the lemonade. But that's not for everybody. And it can impact relationships. And if those people don't support you, you need to find new people, right? You need a new group of friends that are going to be there with you on the journey and support you. They don't have to support you financially or anything else, but like not tear you down. So that's kind of how I feel about that. Hey, Sean here, waiting on equipment build to get done and get started. That is awesome, Sean. Best of luck to you. Budget builder built it for you. Budget builder built. No, I wish. The budget build sites, they're great. So if you've experienced anything with AI, right, you can give phenomenal prompts. And the better the prompt, the better the outcome. And so, we use AI a lot. So we've got really good with understanding what it takes to create a prompt that gives the best result in return. So with the AI site builder, what you do is, you would get in and you type in like, hey, my business's name is, Salty Dog Pressure Washing. I'm in Tacoma, Washington, and we serve the surrounding area. We specialize in soft washing and pressure washing, residential and commercial. We do house washes. We do concrete cleaning, roof cleaning. Right? You give it as much information as you can. Um, I'm trying to think of some of the other things. This is my phone number. This is my email address. I'd like to have a blog. I'd like to have like a site. I'm trying to think of what it's called, but I want a blog. I want, a before and after section, and it will do all of this for you. There are a couple videos that we put out on Quote IQ with the, kind of the technology behind it, but the better the prompt, the better. So then it generates this, and it does it like in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Generates the structure first, so you can kind of, menu, hero section, this section. You can, alter it. You can change the colors, you can change the fonts. Then it generates the website for you. Then you can get in and you can actually edit, right? If you want to change the header, if you want to change some of the verbiage, you can change out the pictures to pictures of you. It generates AI pictures. Some of them look phenomenal, some of them not so great, but that's what you get with AI, and that's why it's fully customizable, fully editable, so you can get in and truly make it your own. And it's basically a plug and play deal, the editing. So you don't need to understand code, you don't need to understand how to build or write in different HTML or whatever. So it's great for people that, need a website, don't want to pay an arm and a leg, and want to get online quick. Let's see. Um Best CRM ever. Thank you, Sergio. Can't wait to build my new website. That's awesome. Yeah, and Sergio, after you get through the process and you built it, we would love to hear your feedback on the process, the flow, the steps that it takes to get in there. And if you've got any questions, please let us know, because it's, we're only going to get better if we get the feedback from you. So I would love to hear what you think. How can I capitalize on doing work for free for disabled veterans? Any thoughts? I think veterans are, and this sounds terrible because I'm a very, patriotic American and I love our country. But I think one of the worst things that our country has done is failed our veterans. I don't think we support them like we should, both mentally and physically, after, they've put their lives on the line for us and our freedom. So I think it's admirable that you would, go out and do things. We've done stuff for veterans as well. This is one of those kind of funny areas where it's like, how can I capitalize on it? So like, are we doing it because it's right, or are we doing it because we want to get something in return? Um, I mean, you can advertise like, every job that we do for our customers, a percentage of that goes to paying for a veteran to have their home cleaned or their whatever. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things, and you don't. I personally don't want to promote the fact that we're doing charitable work um, to generate more money. I don't know. I mean, but it's great. I think it's great. How many cards do or did you send out a month? We were doing 5,000 a month. That's the postcards. It's 7 is what they tell me. They probably, yeah. I mean, I'd tell you 7 too if I was selling postcards. I just got to be honest. My business failed. Why? I hoped, wished, and sent out positive vibes to get work, but it didn't work. Should I have tried marketing? Joey, I hope you're joking, and I know you are. But positive vibes ain't going to make the phone ring. Hi there. I'm in Europe and looking to go into mobile cryogenic cleaning as well as laser cleaning, but as a mobile business. Okay. Well, when you get up and running, I would love to talk to you and, interview you, because that sounds like some really cool shit. Cryogenic cleaning. I don't know what that is. It sounds cold, but it sounds cool. And then the laser cleaning business, that's amazing. I've seen so many videos of these lasers, like just stripping rust from metal, or stripping varnish from kitchen cabinets with no dust, with no smoke. Just, it's really neat stuff, and very satisfying. Do you know if you think it's a good do you know if you think it's a good idea nowadays? Oh, I don't know. I've never heard of either of those. necessarily as a mobile business, but I mean, hell, I think it's awesome. But definitely do market research. Don't jump into anything like, especially I think that stuff's kind of sounds like there might be a quite an investment to be made. But do your thing. Yep. Who is the $500 giveaway? We do it every single month. So we do two giveaways. Now, for this video, just for giggles, we will do a giveaway. All you have to do is comment in not in the chat session, but on the video itself. Comment, I want to win. You gotta give this video a thumbs up, and you need to subscribe to the channel if you're not. And this month we are giving away a year of the elite tier of Quote IQ, and that's the top of the line. It's got everything in it, our regular CRM, the estimates, invoices, keeping track, expenses, all that stuff. But it's also got InstaQuote, InstaSchedule, route optimization, a lot of great stuff. So you'll get a year of that for free. And I want to say that I think that's, gosh, I can't remember how much that is, $149 a month, maybe. And then you will get a year of our virtual call team for free. And then you'll also get 5 Quote IQ video ads that you can choose from. We've got over 20 of them. So there's something out there for everybody, all kinds of different services that, I'm sure that you do offer. They're great for promotion. You can check those out at qiqads.com. But if you want to get in for this month's registration of that, in the comments section, not the chat, say, I want to win, like the video, subscribe, do all that stuff, and we'll do that. Now, the $500 giveaway, those are on different videos. So if you want to win that, make sure you go to those videos. And then, I do one of those videos about every month, and I announced the winner of the last one. And I can't remember who won the last time, but we're doing another one right now that's live. So you can definitely check it out. Ice blasting. I got you. How do I stay headstrong on my premium pricing when people want to chuck in a truck looking for beer money? John, that is the age-old question, and that is something that you're going to deal with for as long as you're going to be in business. There are always going to be low ballers. There's always going to be people out there that will do it for less. And there's always going to be the opportunity for you to say no to the customers that only want to deal with people like that. Is it ideal for you? No, but do we want to go work for somebody and not make any money, right? No, we don't. So stand by your prices, find the right customers, market to those customers multiple times in multiple ways, stay in front of them. And, if you have shitty pricing, you're going to get shitty customers. If you've got premium pricing, you're going to get customers that have expectations of a premium, experience. And so those are the people that you want to deal with. And I know that's easier said than done, especially, if your calendar is not full and the lead flow isn't as much as you would like it to be. And I'm saying, well, you just got to walk away. Well, at the early stages of a business, sometimes you do have to lower your threshold of margin, if you will, and then you can move forward. So, that's really my answer to that. I want to win is commented every time I see it. LOL. I want to win is commented every time I see it. Yes, that's what we have to make you do that, because if you don't do it, then you can't win, because then I can't, find the name. It's been a while since I have been able to make it to a live. Been super busy since adding commercial kitchen hood cleaning to our business. Well, Jordan, I haven't been live in probably 3 months, so I missed you too. But that's awesome. I'd love to hear how the hood cleaning business is going. It's messy. It's at night, but it's very profitable, and that's a great addition to your business. Is there a way to adjust the taxes are done on Quote IQ app when doing quotes? Sometimes I only need to add taxes to certain line items. No. Currently, that you can't do adjustments on taxes per line item. The only way, there's always a workaround for everything. And just off the top of my head, I would say, if you know that there's a percentage that's coming out, you could notate that in the description of the service, reflect it on the price, and keep track of it that way. But that's not ideal. But it's something, if you would, Jordan, send us an email to support@quoteiq.io and just mention what you had just stated, because it's something that we can probably do. And now we have got Chris, the striping guy. He's in the house. And what's up, Chris? I owe you a phone call. Chris called me last night. We were texting and he called me last night, but I don't answer my phone at night. And so I apologize, Chris. But yeah, good stuff. Chris is a machine. And if anybody is interested in striping, like parking lot line striping, this is a phenomenal business by itself, and it's also a great business as something to add on to your pressure washing business or whatever business you have. Every place that you drive pretty much has a parking lot, and the government regulates this because you have to be in compliance, right? And so people have to continually have their parking lots striped and kept up to date with ADA compliance, which is the American Disability Act, the blue lines and all the jibber jabber around. But with that being said, Chris has come together with us. I don't even know how long ago it was, Chris, quite some time ago. And this was back when Chris was a fat guy. He's no longer fat. He's jacked now. And he looks great. But so when when we started the How to Stripe course, Chris put it all together, and it's the most in-depth training that you can get for starting a striping business, from the equipment, the paint, the layouts. He does sports field. I mean, you've got it all. Unbelievably low price for what you get, and you can get out there and start making a killing. And you don't even have to start with like a striping machine. I mean, there are guys out there with freaking rollers and tape just to get their foot in the door, get a couple jobs under their belt, start making some money, and then reinvesting in the business, which, that's what we should do in all of our businesses. We continually take a little piece, put it back in the business so we can make more money. And so, with all that being said, Chris has got a phenomenal YouTube channel. It's called Chris the Striping Guy. You can check him out. Go check his videos out. He's got some great. He just dropped one the other day that was phenomenal, about customer acquisition and kind of the questions to ask. Great video, Chris. But you also can go to howtostripe.com, and it's 50% off right now, so you can check that out. But so yeah, that's it. In Colorado, we don't tax services, only hard items like tangible items like hood filters. Okay. So yeah, I would probably just build that into the actual service until we can get something figured out. Um, Coach Nate, how well can Quote IQ work with asphalt maintenance? Well, Chris, who does asphalt maintenance, he does sealing, he does striping, he does all the other things that you do with striping and parking lot maintenance. It works great. Chris has been using it. We've got tons of striping guys that use the program, and it does a great job. It's fully customizable for absolutely every industry. So it doesn't matter if you are in the poop pickup business or you're a parking lot maintenance business or whatever the case is. It is. We probably have a template for you, and if not, it's super easy to navigate and build out. Plus, we have got a phenomenal support team. Our onboarding specialists absolutely rock. They can walk you through every step of the process. So if you're just thinking about it and you're not sure, go to myquoteiq.com. Start, click the little button that says get a demo. Set up a demo, have our guys walk you through the entire app, ask your questions. They can custom, they'll show you how to custom tailor it for your specific needs. So if you've got any questions about that, go over there, sign up, and we'd love to walk you through. It's great. Jordan says, I need to check out Chris's course at the end of the month. I have a $4,000 parking lot striping job for a new gas station that's being built. It is already scheduled for June 30th. Well, good on you for booking that job and not knowing what the fuck you're going to do. So definitely check out Chris's course. Patrick says, what's good, Mike? I was talking to someone the other day who has been in the business for a year now. He was saying the things not talked about is the maintenance on equipment. What say you? I say that maintenance on equipment is probably as important as your marketing, as your sales, as the actual job itself, because without any of those components, guess what happens? The entire system breaks. If you don't have equipment because it's not properly maintained, guess what happens? You ain't working. If you don't have any marketing in place, the phone's not ringing, customers can't call you, guess what happens? You're not working, right? So they're very important. And yeah, so in our How to Wash training program, I actually go into quite a bit of the maintenance, the upkeep, the things that you need to keep your eye on. And it's no secret. Change your oil in your machine, in your pump, right? Keep your eye on these things every single day. Your truck too, that goes without saying. In your pumps, make sure that it's got the oil in there. There's a little view, make sure. If you've got hose reels and surface cleaners with Zerk fittings, get you a little squirt thing to lube it up, because if you don't, that shit's going to fail. And when things fail, you have to replace them. It causes downtime. That's lost revenue, and that's not what we want. So yeah, by all means, I think maintenance is one of the most important things. But to your point, the reason that you don't see a lot of people talking about those things like on YouTube is because it's boring. It doesn't, intrigue people. People want to see how much money we've made, right? Like how I clean this, apartment building for $15,000, or we made X amount of dollars in this amount of hours, because that's what people are interested in. That's what gets the clicks. I'm guilty of it too. I like to, but the other side, and the guys that are watching, tell me this: do you, like, I put out a video yesterday that I thought was absolutely amazing, right? It was like the four things that are going to stop you from, meeting your goals, being successful. And it was like fear, not knowing how to price. Like I went through a list of these four things and kind of just talked on those points. The video did terrible, right? It was terrible. I think it's got like less than probably 1,200 views, right? And like, to me, I was like, this is a great video, but it didn't have a bunch of wash footage. It didn't have, the equipment and stuff getting cleaned. It wasn't visually exciting. And so people, they just tuned out or didn't watch at all. And in my opinion, those videos, the ones about marketing, the ones about sales, the ones about failure, those are the ones that will have the most impact on your business. Who cares if Johnny or Billy or Bobby, made $5,000 in a day? It doesn't matter. Those are fun videos. They're great. I make them. But that's not going to help your business. What's going to help your business is the ones where somebody that's got actual experience, somebody that's been there, that's done that, that's got a proven track record, is helping, right? Giving you the advice, the guidance, the even if it's just one little nugget that you can pick up. Like, it's great. I'm reading a book right now about software companies. And so I got through like the first couple chapters, like, God, this is bullshit, right? We've already done all this. There's nothing that I'm going to learn here. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep on. So I keep reading. It's like nugget. That's a good one. Nugget here. Go a couple more chapters. I skipped some chapters because I was like, this is stupid. Nugget, nugget, nugget. You walk away with some really good things. So even if you see something that maybe isn't like, blowing your skirt up, still stick around, because you're probably going to gain something from it. So that's just my 2 cents. And you guys here, tell me, why do people not like those videos? Why do they not like the videos? I mean, I make these videos and they don't like them. That was my Jerry Seinfeld impression. I don't have Quote IQ yet, but how many services can you have set on it? You could have a billion services, Joshua. I do pressure washing, mobile auto detailing. You can do them all. And the cool thing, and I can't show you because you probably can't see it on my phone, but you can segregate them. So if you want to keep all of your mobile detailing services under that particular tab, boom. Christmas lighting, boom. Pressure washing, what else did you do? A lot of stuff. Then you go from tab to tab, and so if it's a Christmas lighting customer, you click there, boom, and then you can just, you're good to go. So yeah, we don't limit you. That's the thing about us, right? We're not trying to some of our competitors are very, very they like to charge a lot of money for a lot less than what we provide for a better price. We're not trying to kill anybody's bank account over here. We're trying to provide value, and this is a business, so we do have to charge you. Let's see. Okay, I read that. Is there a page for more info on VCT? I don't think so. Let's see. Hi, Mike. I'm 17, starting a lawn care business, so I can go to trade school. Thanks for you and Justin for the great content. I will use Quote IQ for my business in the near future. That is awesome, Christopher. Keep it up. Best of luck in school, and I hope you kick ass. I don't have Quote IQ yet. We answered that. Jordan, we have done a couple other parking lot striping jobs for nursing homes with paint rollers, but I'd like a better understanding of things. Yeah, and Chris is not only is a phenomenal teacher, but he relays it in a way that it's easy to understand, easy to retain, and he just breaks it down in such a great way. So yeah, I would definitely check that out. I watched that whole video. Thank you for posting it. Thank you. I'm glad you saw it. Let's see. Hey, Mike, I love the content. When pitching to construction service companies for post project cleaning, power washing, what should be considered most, especially when it comes to pricing? Okay, so that's a good one. Let me think. I've got a firm, and I'm assuming the way that you wrote the question, you're going to be talking to these guys in person, right? So I think the most important thing is building rapport as quickly as possible, finding common ground, fostering the relationship. Because when you do that, then you're not just some guy that's trying to pitch them on cleaning up after they're done with their stuff, right? Then it becomes a little bit more personal, and there's some psychology in what I'm saying, but people buy from people that they like. And if you can become some, maybe he's wearing a shirt like a college shirt or something, or he's got a buck in his office. Oh, you're a hunter, I see. What, find something that you can relate to, and then that will allow you to ask other questions that otherwise not be fully accepted by somebody that you're trying to give a proposal to. Pricing, I think, is secondary to that, honestly. And sometimes you can leverage that relationship and extract information from these guys. And because if you build a little bit of a relationship, some rapport, they want to work with you. You're a nice guy, and they might give you a little bit more information than what they normally would give, allowing you to get the job. I can't go a lot deeper into that here because that's the stuff that we teach in our high level courses, but definitely something to think about. And yes, Perez pressure washing, America. I gotcha. Let's see. Jobber and House Call Pro both wanted $100 a month for their software and won't quit calling me, even though I tell them I use Quote IQ for my CRM. I love it. Thanks, Mike. My friend was also of the opinion I might need to familiarize myself with small engine repair and light plumbing as well. Do you think this is necessary, or you can learn the stuff as you go? I tell you what, Patrick, having a firm understanding of how things work it's huge. We've also got a lot of things at our disposal like ChatGPT, Google, YouTube, Facebook groups. So if we do run into little issues like that, we can usually find them pretty quick. And so I don't think that you need to take go down to the local, wherever, and take a training class on building, small engine repair or plumbing. I think if you've got an understanding of basics like, flow, like understanding like, direction and restrictions, and that's important. You want to have as few restrictions as possible to increase the maximum amount of flow, right? So plumbing is relatively easy. Like, and some people, they just can't see it. Some people can. I'm lucky, for whatever reason, I can, make shit, break shit, fix it, and we're good. I don't do that as much anymore. Now I just kind of like ship it off to L&H Industrial down the road and let them fix it, because I don't have the time nor the desire to get out there and get bloody knuckles. And so with all that, a good understanding is really important. That way you can troubleshoot. And as you get more time, oh damn. Okay, I'm getting notifications right now that there are some features that are still having issues. We can't view PDFs on inspection forms, and that's a direct result of the Google outage. So if you're trying to do that, sorry. Um, so yeah, did that. Okay, thanks, Mike. Plumbing. Yeah. Let's see. Sometimes pricing can be difficult, especially when we're one of the only local contractors that do parking lot striping and commercial. Dude, that's like printing money, I would think, right? If they've got no comparison, then your price is always looking good. So, I mean, I wouldn't let that hinder you too much. We're the only company in 100 miles that does restaurant wood, dude, and they have to have their rest. That's another beautiful thing about the hoods. They have to have them clean, just like parking lots. They have to be striped at, in whatever the incremental time frame is, in order to remain compliant. And so you're in a great spot there. I love it. Let's see what else. Does anybody else have any questions? There's a few folks in here. And like I said, I've not done one of these things in a very long time. So it's nice to see the familiar names. And I hope everybody is Yeah, so you have to do them every 3 to 6 months. And dude, if you're the only person in 100 miles that is doing that, like, make sure you're getting paid accordingly. Uh, where do you live? Because I might start a business up there. Kidding. I do not want to start a business anywhere with that. Let's see. Every month for wood fired ovens. And then you can get some pizza maybe when you're in there. Okay. So I've been on for about 35 minutes. If anybody's got any other questions, fire them off now. If not, I am probably going to bounce. So marketing questions, sales questions, software questions, if you've got, you know, did you, if you're watching this and you're being quiet and you're like, God, I hate this fucking guy. All he does is yap. He's a professional yapper. Let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear. If you've used Quote IQ and you didn't like it, you bounced, you went to somebody else, let me know. Because that feedback also is really helpful to us. We call everybody do now that unsubscribes from the app just to get feedback. That way we can get better. And so, even the folks that bounce, it is what it is. Will not be power washing question, but shoe cleaning. Will not, Tino, talk to me, man. I live in Texas. I'd love to hear your shoe cleaning question. And as far as the business side of things go, it really all breaks down to a couple things, right? Obviously, the service, the niche, whatever that you're in, whether it's a service, whether it's a product, we're all selling something, right? So then ultimately, it's all about how you manage your business, how you are able to market your business, how good you are at sales. And those are really the key driving factors, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to say that anybody can do any of the things that we're talking about, whether it's line striping, lawn care, shoe cleaning, whatever. You know, there is a mulch calculator in Quote IQ. It's those three things that really can have the most impact on a successful business, right? The better you are at sales, the better you are at marketing, the better you are at managing. And when I say managing, I'm talking about looking professional, being professional, presenting your company in a way that is professional, right? That's first by sending professional estimates, following up on those estimates. If you don't follow up on estimates, you're leaving money on the table. Then, scheduling a job, being there on time, doing the work, doing all the things that we need to do to foster that relationship. Solidify the relationship so they call us again and again and again, and they refer us to their friends and they leave us reviews. Those are the important things. You do a good job, right? Exceed expectations. Then after that, the invoice is sent. Again, professional. Give them ways to pay online, and then from there, like for us with the Quote IQ, you've got the review multiplier. So if you send an invoice, they pay the invoice immediately. That customer that just paid your invoice is taken to your Google business profile, to the review section where they're prompted to leave you a review. So it's like part of the process of, I got the invoice, I'm going to leave a review, right? It's like, let's do it. Our reviews have skyrocketed since we have implemented that. And then the follow-up after that, right? We talk about follow-up on estimates, but the follow-up after the job is complete, in my opinion, is the most important. And that's the best part. We've got email automation set up, an entire pipeline set up for the entire process from the initial quote all the way to, a year or 2 years after the work was done, that invoice was sent. We're fostering that relationship. We're sending, reminders. We're talking about promotions. We're thanking them for being our customers. Then in about a year, we're saying, hey, it's been about a year. Would love to know if you'd like us to come back out and service your property again. Whatever the service is, whatever the time increment is, it's all adjustable within there. But the follow-up and that automation is critical to a business. And so those are the three things that I was talking about that can really have the most impact on your business. Let's see. Okie dokie. Quick question. Yes, there is a mulch calculator. Go into the side menu. You can go down to calculators, business calculators, I believe, and we've got 3 or 4 or 5 different calculators that are beneficial. I'd suggest making adjustments to the taxes options in the CRM. That is my only problem so far. Otherwise, I enjoy Quote IQ. Jordan, I appreciate the feedback, and that is, one of these things. We rank our improvements and the features that we build based on how it's going to have a positive impact on the most amount of people. So I like what you're saying. Hell, I had a guy yesterday, and I can't remember what it was. how for InstaQuote, right? InstaQuote is how people can come to your website and fill out, all their information and get quoted based on a pricing matrix. So it's phenomenal. But this guy was like, "Hey, can I get you guys to put a deposit on if they accept the InstaQuote?" Like, "Oh, yeah, we have that on every other quote, but we didn't have it on InstaQuote." So guess what happens? I talk to the developer and I say, "Hey, we need to do this." And the developer says, "Okay, it's not going to take a lot of time, but it's going to, and so we move forward. So ideas like yours, Jordan, this is how we get better. And so I'm not going to say it's going to happen tomorrow, but we'll definitely make that happen for you. So I do appreciate the feedback. I have lots of ideas. Might be oh, that's interesting, Tito. Dino. I'm 2 years in soft washing. I still can't seem to streamline my breakdown percentage from incoming revenue to keep all areas of business happy: operations, savings, owners, draws, etc. And I got to read that again. I'm 2 years in soft washing. I still can't seem to streamline my breakdown percentages from incoming revenue to keep all areas of business happy: operations, savings, others, draws. I think you're talking about your profit margin or the gross. I don't necessarily understand breakdown of percentages. So you're talking about what you should do with the money that's left over after the job is complete and all of your overhead has been paid. Um, I do my things a certain way. Other people, I would honestly talk to a professional like an accountant, or like a business consultant. These guys are out there and they're great. I have somebody that I use that helps me make decisions, and I am not a financial advisor, so I don't want to give advice like that. I rely on people that are smarter than me in a lot of areas, and this is one of those areas. So you don't have mail escort as a service listed. We do have mail escort listed. It's if you go under services, industries, prostitution. There's male, there's female, and there's trans. And it's 2025. We do not discriminate. If whatever you want to do, it's there. And Quote IQ is here for you too. So you guys could. That's going to be a new commercial. Thank you. Colorado is weird. Each county has different tax rates depending. Yeah, I get it. We'll look at it. Mike, how are the InstaQuotes based? Is it national averages or dude? Okay, I love national averages as something as a really million mile up overview of maybe what you should be charging, but national averages. Oh shit! No signal. I think you guys can still hear me. I don't know what happened. That's weird. There we are. Hey. Okay. So national averages. I don't think national averages are something that we should, and this is not your question, but I'm going to use this time to talk about national averages. Understand your market, understand your overhead, understand your numbers, understand what your target hourly rate is, understand how much margin you want to make. Those are the things that are going to determine your pricing, not some random sheet that you download from the interweb, right? We've got the national averages as a guiding point, right? For tons of different services. But that's not what I'm going to suggest anybody base their pricing on, right? It's a great place to start and then working from there. InstaQuote has got an entire pricing matrix. We've got tons of videos on this if you want to check them out on the Quote IQ YouTube channel. But so basically there's a pricing matrix that's only you see. And so say you go in, and just as an example, for a house wash, we'll call it, you can say, okay, for a house wash, it's going to be 25 cents per square foot. Okay, so that's your baseline. So then you give, there's all kinds of drop downs and menus that you can choose. Like they can enter their own square footage, and then it'll multiply out and give them a price for the house. That's great, except we don't know anything about their house without being there in person. And this is an InstaQuote that's done online, so it's remote, but this is how customers want to do business. So we built this entire pricing matrix out, which allows the business owner, to put stuff in like, Is it vinyl? Is it brick? Is it stucco? Because we know each of these has got its own special bit of, work that has to go around. Stucco takes a little bit stronger mix. You're going to use more sodium hypochlorite, maybe a little bit more surfactant. So maybe you decide you're going to add 5% on a stucco house. As a vinyl house, you're not going to add anything. Maybe brick houses is 3% increase in price over your square foot price. Or you could do just a dollar amount. So we allow that. Does it, like other questions that my business asks are, do you have a stained front door? If they do, we know we're going to have to spend some time covering it. There's cost in tape, plastic, and labor. Okay. That increases the price. Do you have a detached garage? How long has it been since your house has been washed? It's 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year. You think we're going to charge the same for somebody that hasn't washed their house in 5 years as we did that somebody that just had for 1 year? Hell no, they're going to pay more. And so all of these things, and you could have 15, 20, 100 little qualifying questions for a house wash, right? We don't get that crazy, but there's enough to where there's enough built in so we can intelligently quote instantly without fear of losing money on a job. And that goes for roof cleaning or carpet cleaning or window cleaning or mobile car detailing. I mean, we've got InstaQuote. It's available for every industry that can quote online. So that's that. Hello, Mike. I want to say thank you. I did a roof wash and your chemical calculator was a huge help. I love it. And I love your name even more. I eats the butt. That's great. Um, yes. Yes, you can hear. Okay. When did YouTube begin ads in live streams? I don't know, but that's awesome. Dude, why does my thing? Oh, shit. That's what's happening. Are they running ads right now as I'm talking? That can't be real. Okay. Well, that's something. Uh, anyway, I don't know why that's happening, but that's crazy. I did not know that they were running ads, but I'm not opposed to it. I Okay, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. I don't know why this is going all wackadoo, but it is. And thanks for watching. Thumbs up, like it, comment. I want to win in the comment section if you want to win all that stuff we talked about earlier. And that's it. Appreciate you guys.